So next up is Lisa Kwong, who is a native of Bradford, Virginia. Lisa Kwong is Appalachian, a member of the Appalachian Poets, and the author of Becoming Appalachian. Her friends have appeared in Best New Poets, a literary field guide to Southern Appalachia, Anthology of Appalachian Writers, and other publications. She teaches at IU and also at Ivy Tech Community College in Bloomington, Indiana. Please join me in welcoming Lisa.
All right. Thank you, Joan, for that intro. So thank you, everyone, for being here. So I will be reading from Becoming Appalachian, and I did bring copies for sale, so you can buy a copy if you enjoy what you hear today. So I think I will go ahead and start with the opening pair of poems. One is my father's side of the story, and then one is my mother's side of the story. On the 42nd anniversary of my father's swim from China, October 17th, 2015. Suspended between shores, you watch your friend's tire disappear beneath bluish-black waters, never to resurface. When you agreed to swim together, you promised to keep going, even if some could not go on. Someone must reach the shore of freedom. This journey must not be in vain. You keep swimming, your family's voices echoing from the home you left, your son and daughter's faces etched on clouds. Your limbs grow heavier after the first hour. You keep time by the shifting sky, one arm, one leg moving after the other, strong strokes slicing cold Taiping Bay. Salt slides from your eyelashes, the sun is a blinking siren. Spotting a shark fin in the distance, you quiet your strokes, your eyes still on Hong Kong. Even the fear of being eaten alive can't stop you. You want to live to see your babies grow up, to grow old with your wife. You must succeed as a man, as the head of your family. You keep swimming, believe your blood father is watching, the father you never knew. You must keep swimming to rewrite history. His early death will not be yours. You will live even though your legs feel like sacks of rice. You believe there is something stronger than exhaustion. This is why you continue to kick towards freedom. This is why you won't stop until your feet touch shallow ground again. This is love spanning generations of blood, red legacies that will survive shark bites, the ghosts of family secrets. You must keep swimming to reach the shore where you will be reborn, a tiger emerging. Poem for my mother who dared beyond Taishan. You dared to elope after your mother shook her fist at your husband, who would journey his way out of poverty, out of Taishan. When you received his letter of how he swam in shark-filled Taiping Bay for 3 hours, you lit incense in gratitude for his safe arrival in Hong Kong, not daring to imagine the what-ifs. Remember the morning when you found his side of the bed empty, a snake of fear slithering in your heart. You exhaled as your baby slept a few feet away. You lit incense then as prayers for him, yourself, your 2-year-old son, your 2-month baby girl, not knowing when you would see him again. You hold on to hope as your babies grow strong with the love of great-grandma, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and neighbors. They babysit while you raise chickens and hogs to sell. When you bike on countryside paths to city markets, your son and daughter ride along, boisterous about what is beyond your village. Before putting the envelopes in the mail, you read your son's letters, carefully penned characters on thin red and blue lined paper. Baba, waho, wahiongo, gumama, moi moi, wakane. Dear Daddy, we are well. I am good and taking care of Mama and little sister. We miss you. Every day your daughter asks, Ababa all night, and you tell her first Hong Kong, then America. You watch her captivate neighbors and classmates with their sticky-toothed talk, hear how she shielded her big brother from bullies when they mocked his bulbous head, a fearlessness she inherited from her father. A child born to parents so poor, no villager wanted to hold him as a baby, your son soon earns respect when others see how he zooms through advanced math on the blackboard, chalk dust flying everywhere. You are so proud and hope your son succeeds in life, despite you and your husband having only 6 years of schooling. As oldest siblings, you both had to help support your large families. One day, it is time to leave Taishan, your parents, and your brothers and sisters, friends. You don't know when you will return. This might be the last time you see your family. Everyone speaks only beautiful travel wishes and presses red envelopes into your hands. Even if you want to cry, don't. You are going to America, the place they call Golden Mountain, where your husband is. You must survive the plane ride first. Now 9 years old, your son bounces in the seat while you and your daughter vomit into little white paper bags. Flight turbulence too much to stomach as you grieve for the home you've left. But you forget the discomfort when you see your husband for the first time in 7 years. Your daughter, only 2 months when he left, loosens from your hand, runs and shouts, "Baba,你没有带过我." Daddy, you never carried me on your back. He laughs, hugging your daughter and son close. Will recall later how he worried before leaving Taishan. This might be the last time I see you. You and your husband vow to never be apart again for so long, even though your love has endured across countries and continents. You both vow to give your children everything, a world they won't have to escape, a home where there will always be enough to eat. So after my parents were reunited, then came me. So this is called the baby behind the cash register at Canton Restaurant. Ring, ring of the cash register wakes you, but you don't know names for sounds yet. All you hear is noise, strangers' voices, doors swinging, rushing feet. Your mother speaks in a garbled language different from when she rocks you to sleep. Your tiny nose scrunches at all the colliding smells. Gaswok smoke, garlic chicken, Szechuan beef, and Kung Pao chicken float by. Move to a counter where powdered-faced women talk to you in squeaky voices. You begin to cry. Your whole life will be under spotlights and never meet anyone's expectations. Be cute, be quiet, never get in trouble, get straight A's, know everything, never feel anything. First American-born daughter, you carry the bridge between China and America. You are not meant to be ordinary. The way you learn to survive, then thrive, take different worlds and fuse them into a kaleidoscope universe no one has ever seen. Refuse to be written out of history. Tell the world to burn all their Chinese takeout boxes. You won't see the inside of even one. Okay, so I think I would attribute, I think one of the main reasons that I've been able to hold on to my Chinese heritage is because I was raised by my paternal grandparents. So I've written several poems about my relationship with my paternal grandmother, and this was one of the very first ones that I've done. So a lot of, if you've followed my career for a while, you've probably heard this poem many times, but this is the first time I'll be reading it in sequence with the other poems in this book. Okay. So this is Taishan Canton, came to Radford, Virginia. At home, there was an ancestor altar in the back room, framed red signs in Chinese, and tarnished brass pots filled with dirt and burnt incense, stickmen and half-hearted prayer, and a small black and white picture of a young man who looked like my father. 8 years old, I asked, "Is this my dad?" Nene stopped her sewing machine. She told me it was my real yaya, my father's blood father. Her face sad and static crackling like a grainy film reel, she recounted how soldiers raided their house in Taishan, how she clutched my father, only 1 year old, how she saved the picture staring at me by hiding it in the inner pocket of her pants. This is all we have left of him. Nene gripped me by the shoulders. Do not tell your dad and mom you know. She lit a new incense stick in front of his sole surviving image, made me stand a few feet away, put my palms together, then told me to bow 3 times and say, yeah, I have been a good girl. Yeah, I have been a good girl. Yeah, I have been a good girl. Into a loop, the incense curled, unlike the limp, head-bent stickmen surrounding the freshly burned halo. Yaya heard you. He is pleased. Sundays, I wore dresses sewn by Yinging and went to Calvary Baptist with my American Yaya. There I learned there is only one God, all others are idols. And the baby behind the cash register became this ABC Appalachian Born Chinese girl. She's a middle finger to the fortune cookie, a middle child born in Radford, heart of the New River Valley. Never fully Chinese, she devoured sausage biscuits before Sunday school. Never fully American, she chews chicken feet, a preference she used to not proclaim, feared being shamed by white folks grossed out, as if bacon, ham, and steak were holier. For after-school snacks, Mom and Dad made cheese egg rolls, wok-fried grilled cheese sandwiches. She learned square dancing in 4th grade PE, Appalachian English in 7th grade. She mucks up the model minority parade. No calculus, no physics, yes clarinet, yes poetry, still voted most likely to succeed. Mountaineer alumna of Boone, she was raised on Ron Rash, George Ella Lyon, Donald Sechrist, Jim Minnick, Rita Riddle, Frank X. Walker, now also reads Amy Nezukumatatiel, Beth Nguyen, Lee Young Lee, Marilyn Chen, Celeste Ng, Jane Kwok, carries their words around like favorite Bible verses. She's got 3 Southern grandmas calling her sweetie. Y'all is home, not ni hao. She endures sis mocking her sometimes Southern accent, side-eyes Confederate flags who can't see her Appalachian roots. Okay, so to provide just a little bit of context for this next poem, because I don't want people to think that I still feel the same way because I'm an instructor at both IU and Ivy Tech, but my family, my childhood home was in a college neighborhood, so I was surrounded by college students from a very young age. Also, most of the employees at my dad's restaurant were college students as well. So growing up, they were really annoying because they were just everywhere around us. So that's the context I wanted to give you before I read this poem. This one is called Portrait of Appalachian Chinese Girls in Their Grandmother's Garden. Navigating Yinging's maze of winter melon and zucchini, my little sister and I simmered under the late summer sun, where men zoomed by in pickup trucks, hollering Chinese girls like they were hurling butter knives at our heads. Yinging's neighbors, college boys, liked to bake themselves on their roof. We hated college boys. A swarm of them worked at Dad's restaurant, always reeking of sock sweat and bourbon and coke. They'd loll around while we ate Chinese sausage rice, pointing at us, their laughter, a chorus of snot trumpets. Inside the metal crisscross fence, we meandered as 2 boys eyed us from their shingled perch. Standing up, they yanked down their trunks, butts facing us, yelled, "Nah," and out came their tongues. The gourds I was lugging dropped from my arms onto concrete. "Sis, don't look." Only four, my little sister stared. She remembers now. I wondered what was hanging between their legs. I remember the butts. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This is a poem, a newer poem in the book, and it's called "Learning How to Curse in Toisanese." At Yingyin and Yeya's house, strangers would call, offering this or that. A child, I was told not to speak to them, so I'd hand over the rotary phone to Yeya. Yuga must have startled the voice on the other end, but me and my younger siblings giggled at the booming and bellowing of Yeya's syllables like inflating giant balloons with black googly eyes and creepy faces meant to hover over parade floats, not knowing he was saying the worst Toisanese curse ever, the equivalent of mother effer. Later, at family dinners, sometimes Daddy used it when shouting at Yeya, not his blood father, but the father who raised him from age 2. The distance between them, while vast, was not as far as the universe between Daddy and real Yeya. Now, when I'm about to pop off, cursing in Toisanese calms my inherited temper. Cursing in English only makes me feel worse, as if I've bitten off Lego heads. Okay. So this poem, next poem, is in 4 parts, and so I will be saying 1, 2, before each part. Okay. So bitten by bitterness. 1. Carrying an amber cup, Nini marched towards me, and I started running. It contained ginseng soup, a flavor too advanced for my immature taste buds. My little feet pounded on the living room carpet to the scratchy porch floor. Nowhere to hide. Cornered on the row of worn surplus restaurant chairs, she forced the cup to my lips. Drink, ginseng soup is good for you. 2. Once, Yingyin gave me a bowl of ginseng congee for an afternoon snack. At least it had rice and shredded chicken, but its half-bitter taste still frightened me as I stared at the round white bowl with a pinkish rim. I took that bowl of doom, snuck into the main bathroom, closed the door, then dumped it all in the trash, watching the evil soup dribble into darkness. I snuck back out, held out the bowl. I finished it. Nini smiled, her gold and silver teeth shining, until Sister told her the truth. Nini never gave me ginseng again. 3. I don't fear bitterness anymore. Every time I return home, my parents prepare a gigantic bowl of bitter melon soup. The pieces float in clear broth, little green alligator backs surrounded by sliced pork. This soup doesn't bite, it heals. I've read that bitter melon lowers blood sugar. In Taishan, my aunt's mom's younger sisters served us bitter melon daily, stir-fried with spare rib tips or pork belly in black bean sauce. 4. I fear the rising levels of sweetness in my body. Bitter melon isn't ubiquitous like royally dressed desserts that crowd grocery counters and tempt from glass cases at bakeries. What is bitter stuns my mouth, chases toxins away. What is sweet might kill me. One day, I could wake up a pile of sugar. And this is not my last poem, but this will be the last poem that I read about my paternal grandmother. Childhood fade in litany. Childhood fade in litany. Behind the crisscross fence, I thought home was a safe place. The doors locked loosened. I questioned home as a safe place. Yingyin took insulin shots, and I looked away. Yingyin had a stroke. Home was no longer a safe place. Main Street emptied of traffic, and home was a safe place. Smashed beer bottles kept littering the driveway. Desperate men played lottery at Pack and Sack. I watched her bones become landscape. Gingy had another stroke. Home wasn't a safe place. Girls cried at the strangeness of incense. Smoke tendrils crawled down our throats. My sister and I secretly went to the graveyard. I questioned God. I asked why home was not a safe place. Lightning squeezed my hand, and home became a safe place again. I cried at Nini's tomb. I used to think home was a safe place. My grief grew a noose. I touched the letters on the tomb. Okay. Okay, so I am going to move into more of my Indiana poems. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. This one is called I Sing to Myself While Driving to Indianapolis Airport. My choir teacher said I was an alto, meaning I can't scale cathedral ceilings with a whistle register like Mariah. Forget notes only dogs can hear. I was never meant to pop along, belting ballads with Whitney Bombast. I sing in my car with its broken CD player. When crossing county lines and cornfields, the radio's no use with its static and blurring of country, pop, and rap. When I sing along to the divas, I am glittering on stage, serenading my unrequited, or I am the star of my own music video, men chasing after me in rainy streets, but never catching up. On this trip, I am trying to perfect part of your world, the mermaid's wish to be human. I remember the summer before 4th grade when I heard that song for the first time. Even then I said, I sing just like Ariel. There is always desire to be someone else everywhere else. I want to be part of a world where dress size doesn't dictate the stares of strangers, where leisure and slowness are not dirty words. I want more to be where the people are. I don't want to be with people who make me belly flop on rocks, who make me feel like a porcupine in a tutu. I sing the song of wanting to transcend history when I sat zippered lip in class and couldn't measure up to the calculus geniuses who shared my black hair but not my size 16 waist. Okay, it's been a while since I've read this poem, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Alright, so this one is called By the Way, My Dad's on YouTube. Mom hated when Dad stuck his bare hand in the deep fryer's bubbling pond to retrieve egg rolls, or when kung-fuing on stage, he'd ask college guys to hit him, every time laughing, their punches meaningless to his steel stomach. Mom and I'd sit in the auditorium, she nervous whistling inside like a ready tea kettle. Born in the year of the tiger, Dad was tough as tiger teeth, his fists tiger claws. At the end of the exhibition, 6 layers of cinder blocks were set before him. 2 guys stood by his side, were told to touch the stack to prove this was no special effects illusion, when his bare palm tapped the top block, split and crashed all that concrete to the stage floor. Daddies in the South talk about polishing their guns on the porch when their daughter's dates come to visit. I'd like to show men Dad's YouTube video, but will they stay? Once a man tried, and I broke him until his mask fell away, and I could see his fractured heart through the mirror of his boyish tears. Okay, I think I have time to do 3 more poems, so I'm going to end with these 3. So this is the namesake, as close to the namesake poem as we can get in this book. This is called An Appalachian Finds Home in Bloomington, Indiana. I call myself an Appalachian, an Asian from Appalachia. I rock leopard print and black stilettos, write protest emails to Victoria's Secret, wear Brooks and flat-foot proof orthotics. After 5K brunch is a French tickler, a ham and cream cheese crepe, mimosa with cherry. I victory dance in the basement stairwell of Valentine, break into song upon hearing the word lonely. I travel to Greece and Taiwan vicariously through the men I used to like. I am from letting go of the man who left for Florida. I push up and bird dog, lemon squeeze and tricep dip as sweat hisses, every breath a billowing kite lifting my body higher and soar. I keep a flashlight in the bathroom just in case I have to hunker down in the bathtub while a tornado blasts through the parking lot. I am from tea parties and Scrabble, pink Moscato and Poetiers, exploding tacos, chicken and dumplings. I, Appalachian of this Midwest college town, eat chicken feet, mac and cheese, celebrate butts and ancestors. I am from a fridge covered in babies, none of them mine, postcards and handwritten poems received via snail mail. I ponder the mirror, study the woman before me, see the tear-stained tub of lard, see the runner's legs, see the glittering Cinderella blue earring heart. Okay, I'm going to do this next poem because fall is almost here. Yay, for some of us. So this is called Smores and Smoke. In the pumpkin patch air, a fire snaps as speared marshmallows glide in and out. Flames catch these delicious clouds, smoke kissing them until they melt, perfect between the snug hug of graham crackers and milk chocolate. The man with hazelnut hair and a sunshine heart kneels and roasts the perfect marshmallow. A toasted blush, it plummets. Wearing a boyish frown, he rubs away phantom tears with his right knuckle as the perfect marshmallow sinks into its dry grass and dirt demise. Gone quick as a leaf twirl, its loss lingers like smoke smell on our jackets, like daily heartbreaks we carry on a roasting stick. So before I do my last poem, I just want to thank the Writers Guild for having me back at Spoken Word Stage, and I want to thank everyone who came here today. Again, I do have books for sale if you're interested and enjoyed what you liked today. So I guess I should tell everyone I did have wontons for breakfast. So without further ado, this is Searching for Wonton Soup. Nothing compares to Mom and Dad's wontons, mini globes of ground pork perfectly wrapped in a thin golden skin. But I can't live at home forever just to be fed. At every restaurant in Bloomington, Indiana, I try to find a soup good enough. Broth not too oily, skin tender as the meat inside. I love dozens of crisp scallions floating like emeralds, slick green baby bok choy steamed just enough. I've been satisfied, disappointed. Sometimes I wonder what the heck I just ate. I hate going out to eat with complainers, even though some of us can cook better than what we pay for. Sometimes we don't want to dice vegetables, or we tire of flipping and stabbing meat with silver thermometers. We just want to eat. Once in China, my father saw his mother, Mai Yinging, staring into a soup kitchen window crowded with customers, scooping up wontons and slurping broth as steam rose to cloud the ceiling. She clasped her hands behind her back, her face full of hunger. Seamstress money wasn't enough to buy bowls full of wontons for herself, her husband, and 6 children. Dad tells me I don't know struggle, not like they knew in Taishan or when his feet first touched ground in San Francisco, when English was a diamond locked in a glass case. I will never fully understand their poverty. Imprints on shoulders and hands from carrying buckets of water from a well, cooking rice over open fire, living in a one-room brick house with dirt floor, sleeping in heat while mosquitoes siphon their sweet blood. Now, filled with gratitude, I know there are worse things than bad wonton soup. Because they had little, my father now prepares enough for an army in training. Plates overflowing with beef, uchoi, chicken, broccoli, and shrimp on every table. We fear hunger, fear necessities running out, so we buy extra, cook extra, wonder, when will anything ever be enough? Thank you.